Hey, Periscopers, good morning. It's Paul here. I'm in the Try 102 studio. Here's my broadcast console and my broadcast computer right there. We're in a commercial set right now. We're playing Christmas music, so if you want to hear great Christmas music, you can tune us in at try1025.com. Today's the Great American Smokeout, encouraging smokers who want to quit smoking, which I did in 2011, and it was a major step for me because I smoked for a long, long time. I have an article here from my website, try1025.com, how I quit smoking forever, and I will be referencing that, so it's kind of right next to my camera, so excuse me when I look over to it. But I wrote this a while ago because I wanted to help people who need to quit smoking as well. So I tried all of the nicotine replacements. I tried the gums many, many times. I probably tried the gums half a dozen times throughout, the 10 or so years that I was trying to quit. And hey, thanks to everybody who's joining. It's good to see you here. If you were a smoker, hit me up. Vaping is the future. I don't know anything about vaping. I didn't do that. I just quit smoking, and I don't have to spend any money on anything like that, so that's pretty positive for me. But the nicotine replacements didn't work, and as I was attempting to quit smoking, I, in the process, quit drinking. Drinking alcohol was a problem for me, and whenever I quit drinking, it gave me so much power, so much clarity, and also tools that I figured that I could use to quit other things in my life. So I applied a lot of those to my desire to quit smoking. And frankly, I used a higher power than myself because I started chewing when I was about 13. I started smoking when I was about 16. And I started attempting to quit probably around the age 21 or 22. Or I realized that I needed to quit around the age of 21 or 22. I made some efforts during that time, but to tell you the truth, when I was still drinking, there was like no chance of me quitting smoking because even if I would quit for a couple of days, after I would have a few drinks, it just weakened my resolve so much. It weakened my resolve in every different way. There were many things that I would do when I was still drinking that I didn't want to do that are so easy not to do after I wasn't getting drunk and weakening my resolve and decision making so much. So, if you drink, and honestly, alcohol and cigarettes, they go well together. I will not deny that. It's like, man, after that third or fourth drink, if you're a smoker, you just want to go have a smoke. So after I had quit drinking, I didn't try to quit smoking along with it. Because as somebody said to me, don't try to boil the ocean, Don't try to do everything at once. Just take care of one thing, and then if you want, work on the other thing. I love all those hearts. Who's putting those up? Thank you. So I didn't try to quit smoking. I continued smoking after I quit drinking for more than a year and a half. And then after that, I decided that I was sick of spending my money on something that was killing me. But I did have to ask myself the question, do I want to die? Do I want to cut years off of my life? Dennis Leary, the comedian, has a very funny bit where he says that, yes, smoking cuts years off your life, but they're the shitty years, right? They're the years between, 75 and 85. Like, hey, maybe it's not such a bad idea, but I didn't want to do that. I'm not suicidal. I don't want to leave the earth early. When my death comes, I hope that I can accept it with grace, but I'm not going to do anything to hurry it up. So I had to ask my question, do I want to die? Do I have the desire to cut short my life? Because if I do, then I can just continue smoking and not worry about it. But then I decided that I didn't. And I called my friend who's in the medical world, and I asked him about prescription drugs. And he said, yeah, you can use Chantix. And I said, what are the side effects? And he said, suicide. And I said, I'm already committing suicide, right? Smoking is nothing but slow suicide. I don't need Chantix to make me suicidal. If I want to commit suicide, I'll continue smoking, which I kind of enjoyed. So I wasn't going to go the prescription drug route. I had tried nicotine gum, and that didn't work. I just would end up with like 5 pieces of nicotine gum in my mouth. I tried the patch, and I just felt so trashy and redneck when I put that patch on. I was just embarrassed by it. I was. So didn't want to do the patch. And then I realized that whenever I quit drinking, I believe it was because I was connected to a higher power. I'm a big believer in God, and I'm a big believer in the fact that we can accomplish a lot more whenever we admit that there's something more powerful than ourselves out there that will help us if we can tap into the power. So I decided to try to tap into the power of my higher power in order to help me quit smoking. So every time I would have a cigarette, I wouldn't beat myself up, because in years past when I would try to quit, I would, be upset with myself every time I bought a new pack, or every time I lit up, or every time I rolled a cigarette, because at the end I was rolling my own cigarettes, Bugler. They were, my favorite kind. I would be really, really hard on myself. But then I decided that I was just going to eliminate the words from my vocabulary. So I decided I'm not going to say smoking. I'm not going to say cigarette. I'm not going to say I'm going to have a smoke. I'm not going to say I'm going to go have a puff. I would just, if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to say anything about it. And then as I was doing it, I would say a prayer. I would ask God to give me the willingness to live a happy, healthy life. And I would ask God, and I have these notes written down, God, please grant me the willingness to live a healthy life. God, please grant me the willingness to only put things in my body that serve me. God, please help me cherish the gift that you have given me. And I kept doing that. Every time I had a cigarette, I didn't feel shame. I didn't worry about it. I just said the prayers. It wasn't 2 weeks before it started to taste terrible. It wasn't 2 weeks before it was easy to quit. I was amazed at how easy it finally was to quit after, I can't even tell you how many failed attempts I had. I probably tried a couple times per year, every year from the age 22 to the age 36. So, do the math. It's a lot of tries, a lot of failed attempts. And then toward the end, I decided to not feel shame, not justify, not blame for when I didn't succeed in quitting. So I was unsuccessful in quitting. I just forgot about it. Moved on. I'm going to try again. I have another cigarette. I didn't feel shame. I didn't get down on myself. I just said the prayers, moved on, tried again. So I think that the secret to me quitting was to not quit quitting, because I failed so many times. But I just kept at it, and I kept the confidence that I was going to do it. Sooner or later, it was going to take. I didn't care how many tries it took. Every time I had a cigarette, I said the same prayers. God, please grant me the willingness to live a healthy life. God, please grant me the willingness to only put things in my body that serve me. God, please help me cherish the gift of life that you have given me. I said those over and over again, and I am not lying to you at all when I say that when I finally quit, it was easy. It was easy. Took a while, took a lot of doing, but when it finally took, it was easy, and that was 2011. And so here I am some 4 years later. And since then, I've had 2 cigarettes, one this year on the 4th of July, after which I promptly threw up, and one recently, and I just thought that I wanted to try it, and it was horrible. It was just like the futility of it all was what really got me. Like, I'm paying this company to kill me. I'm paying them to ruin my health. I'm wasting my money that could go anywhere I wanted it to ruin my health. And so that's what really kicked it into gear. And then when I went into the 12-step program that helped me tap into a higher power to quit drinking alcohol, I realized that those are tools that I can use to quit other things as well. And been successful since. And I'm very happy about it. So, how are you doing? Anybody need to quit out there? Feel free to contact me, man. I will pep talk you. I will pep email you. I will pep instant message you. I'll help you through if I possibly can. You can find me on the website, try1025.com. You can find me on the radio station, 102.5 in Northern Colorado. You've got me here at PRWaz on Twitter and on Periscope. And I really appreciate you being. Happy Great American Smokeout.